Can we all, pretty please with sugar on top, boycott Nike into the Stone Age once and for all? Now that we know the nitty-gritty about the ludicrous Betsy Ross flag fiasco? Indeed, to appropriate the slogan of this SJW shoemaker, just do it, as in just do go out and purchase other sneakers rather than the overpriced stuff from the House of Swoosh. Here's the skinny. Nike was going to release a line of sneakers for the 4th of July featuring the original Betsy Ross American flag, the one with the 13 stars in a circle. Everything was set to go for this special Independence Day promotion. Until that has been, never was quarterback Colin Kaepernick. Yes, the NFLer, who is more famous for kneeling than passing, reached out to Nike and said he was not amused because the Betsy Ross flag is associated with racist groups? Yeah, that's a new one for me too. Who knew that the original American flag was right up there with the Nazi swastika in terms of being symbolic for white supremacism? I bet you didn't know that either. You want to know who else didn't know that? The Anti-Defamation League, that's who. The New York Post reports that the Anti-Defamation League Center on Extremism has a database with more than 150 hate symbols. Guess what? The Betsy Ross flag is not among them. Oh, but what do they know? Because Colin Kaepernick, he of the hairstyle that was last fashionable back when Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids was on TV, well, when Special K cries racism, Nike reacts, hey, 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 you kids get out of that racism tree. Indeed, it appears just about everything is racist to Kaepernick. What a shame. If this football player had chosen to concentrate on actually playing football as opposed to getting us all woke, he probably would have won a Super Bowl or two by now. Instead, he's the spiritual leader of Black Lives Matter or something. But the Betsy Ross flag is fake racism. The Post notes that in countless news stories, reporters contacted experts who either didn't know about the connection of the Betsy Ross flag and groups such as the KKK, or they were only vaguely aware that this is one of the symbols these groups like to trot out as they wear their capes and hoods during their Springtime for Hitler auditions. Yet Nike is so gutless that this multi-billion-dollar corporation has itself taken the knee in reacting to Kaepernick's hysteria, even though this washed-up QB will likely never play another pro football game again. And yeah, folks, I'm counting the CFL in that prediction. But what's worse, the question arises, has Nike now created a monster? Is this idiocy going to spread, this notion that the Betsy Ross flag isn't merely a non-offensive piece of Americana, but is now a symbol that's revered by hate groups? Oh, way to go, Nike. Way to go, Colin Kaepernick. You're our new Dr. Frankenstein Igor dynamic duo down in the footwear aisle. Look, folks, time to send a message already, and that is there are plenty of great swoosh-free sneakers on the market. But if you do agree to my boycott, all I ask is that you at least stay true to it. Don't pull a Doug Ducey. He's the governor of Arizona who was justifiably outraged over the Betsy Ross controversy, so much so that he pulled $1 million in incentives offered to Nike. Now, why a company such as Nike needs taxpayer welfare from any jurisdiction in the first place is egregious, to say the least. But that commentary will have to be put on the back burner for now. That's because Governor Ducey virtually destroyed his credibility by actually showing up at a 4th of July barbecue donning a pair of Nikes. Are you kidding me, Gov? I'm sure you don't have a footwear selection that rivals that of Imelda Marcos, but come on, you didn't have another pair of shoes in the closet that day? So here's my advice to Ducey and others who want to be weaned off Nike. Here's my running shoe of choice, the New Balance 990. It looks good in basic black. It has built-in arch support. It's lightweight. Oh, but here's the showstopper, the curtain dropper, the thing that really makes these shoes different from Nike sneakers. The New Balance 990 runners are made in the USA. That's right, the United States of America. As for Nike, the lion's share of its shoes, well, they're manufactured in China and Vietnam. Of course, there are Nikes made in Indonesia too, where the company has sometimes been accused of exploiting its workers. Nice, Nike. Then again, Nike has a history of worker exploitation, like how in 1971, co-founder Phil Knight, now a billionaire by the way, paid graphic design student Carolyn Davidson all of $35 for the Nike logo, a design that would go on to become one of the most recognizable logos in the world. Oh, I know, $35 in 1971 currency is equivalent to about $220 today. But still. And you know, doesn't the whole idea of worker exploitation sound like a genuine social justice cause for Kaepernick to pester Nike about? But he's taken a vow of silence on that file, it would seem. Hey, far easier to do some bogus virtue signaling about a now defunct flag that was going to be used on a limited edition shoe than taking Nike to task for how it treats its workers in the third world, you know, where all of Nike's heavy lifting is taking place. After all, Kaepernick might be a whack job progressive, but he's not stupid. Which is to say, don't expect Colin Kaepernick to bite the hand that feeds when it comes to campaigning for changes that might adversely impact Nike's bottom line. Business is business, after all. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, if you like that rant, please like and subscribe and never miss another Rebel video.